Welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. Tonight we are watching and reacting to the 2025 CONCACAF Champions Cup draw. Reacción de la Sorteo de la Copa de Campeones de la CONCACAF. The new tournament's about to start, of course, in February. Right at the start of February, it will start this tournament. It's weird. All right. So we're ready to go. We have the prelim rounds being drawn, and those positions funnel into the round of 16. A double-blind system where we have the positions, teams in each pot be drawn with the positions. Of course, seeded in the prelim round without being drawn, CF Monterrey, Tigres, and Cruz Azul. Preliminary round 3 will be CF Monterrey versus a pot 2 team, Cruz Azul. In preliminary round 7 versus a pot 2 team, and Tigres. Preliminary round 9 against a pot 2 team. Round of 16 buys are as follows. We have the Columbus Crew, round of 16 won as the highest ranked team in the CONCACAF rankings with a bye. Club America, round of 16 5. Hello, Risklander. And no, I wasn't late. And you weren't either. We'll see, but I don't know if they will. How we doing, Danny? Back to my point. Club America, round of 16-5, second best ranked team in the CONCACAF ranking. LA Galaxy, round of 16-8, third ranked best team. Third best ranked team, round of 16-8, versus the winner of preliminary round 11. We'll figure out what that is at the time. El Diablo Valencia, round of 16-4, fourth best ranked team. Cavalier FC, round of 16-2, the fifth best ranked team, which means if they beat their preliminary round opponent, preliminary round 2 opponent, they will play Columbus Crew, most likely. Since they're the lowest ranked bye team, they'll have to end up playing the best ranked bye team. Who gets to destroy Forge this year? We'll find that one out sooner rather than later. Bad thing for Forge is Colorado Rapids and Sporting Kansas City are in their pot. So the teams that I thought they had a chance of beating, they're not going to get. Now, when it comes down to it, good thing is Vancouver Whitecaps, there is no country protection. There is no country protection in this draw. So Forge can play the Vancouver Whitecaps. Frankly, I think they could win that. We're going to find out. Okay? Also, Real Salt Lake. I would want Forge to play Real Salt Lake, Vancouver, Cincinnati comparatively. Seattle's possibly a win. Miami, I wouldn't be too mad about that draw. LAFC, Chivas, Pumas, I would not want those. The teams I want the least out for Forge are the 3 seeded teams. Monterrey, Cruz Azul, Tigres. I do not want those for Forge. I do not want Chivas. I really don't want Pumas, to be fair. I don't want LAFC for Forge. I could live with them getting Miami. I could live with them getting Seattle. I think they could beat Cincy, Salt Lake, or Vancouver. Pumas is possible, but I still don't want to see it. They got a striker. Who knows them? The teams I thought they really could beat are the ones who are in their pot. I want to see them win a round. I want to see Forge win a round. So playing the best sort of precludes them from winning a round. I mean, last year I had the copium of, oh, Chivas ain't good enough to beat Forge. I don't have the copium this year. I want Real Salt Lake or Cincinnati. Pumas, I guess we could beat, but depends on who shows up for Pumas. But we're ready to go. Draw's about to start. Of course, I'll have like 30 minutes of Falderall, and then we actually have the draw. Of course. Always want to face the best to beat the best. You do realize Forge is a Canadian Premier League team. It's probably going to be hard to beat the best. But go ahead. Go ahead. But again, double blind system. There are 7 teams, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams that are already seeded within the preliminary round or the round of 16. Everybody else gets drawn into positions. But here comes the draw for the 2025 CONCACAF Champions Cup. Tomorrow, the defending champions will play Botafogo. We'll be live for that. They will not be in this tournament, though, the defending champions. They will not be in this tournament. Just as normal. As normally happens, they will not be in this tournament. Because, of course. I would grab a shoe and smash it. I don't know what you want me to tell you. But we're ready to go. Of course, there's a message from Victor Montagliani, the CONCACAF president. Can't wait for Botafogo Pachuca tomorrow. Me too. We'll be up early for it. I'll be live for it. We'll review it. Then, of course, on Thursday, we'll be up early for Astana Chelsea. Live and review for that one. America Monterrey will be live for later that day. I will be doing both legs of the Liga MX final. So hopefully that's enjoyable. Savarino going against Rondon, 2 Venezuelans going against each other at the Derby of the Americas. Yep. Savarino and Botafogo with Thiago Almada and Enrique. Should be interesting. But about an hour-long stream tonight. We'll review this draw. And I'll be back tomorrow morning before you know it. I'll be back tomorrow morning before you know it. Out of nowhere. But more Falderall before we get this draw going. Here's the final. Here's some clips from the final earlier this year. Yes, I think he would be. And it looks, I've heard that it looks like Jim Curtin's going to coach the NYCFC. He's going to be going to NYCFC, Jim Curtin. So that's a bullet dodged. So there's a bullet dodged. Clips from the final earlier this year when Pachuca, to a lot of people, shocked Columbus. Well, there's CONCACAF's YouTube channel. There we land. Paid out the Challenger Cup as a trophy as well. I like having African, Asian, Americas Cups as regional titles, as the European teams usually lift the worldwide title at the end. But that's sort of what the Challenger Cup means. Well, hey, if you win your round of 16, you'll probably play a good team in the round of 16, and then you'll have to play, if you win, you have to play Columbus. You're going to play some good teams. I'd rather have him than Jim Curtin. So that's just my opinion. Or Vonnie Sartini. Either the club, the best 2 picks would be this. Either the club calls for the Greek genius, or they raise a pirate flag. That's pretty much the best things you can do if you're TFC. I don't want that punk Sartini, and we're not going to be having Jim Curtin, so. You want to win? You go for the Greek genius or you raise a pirate flag. You want to suck? That's when you hire Jim Curtin or Vonnie Sartini, especially Sartini. Curtin's too damn frugal. Benny Body Bonga, probably. I actually would like that. I think that would be good, frankly. Benny Body Bonga instead of Insigne. Oh my, that actually. Tristan Borges on the bench. Maybe he gets Woobens Pashis from Nashville. Trades for Woobens Pashis as well. Hell, I would do that myself. We need a striker. Hell, I'd do that myself. Find a way to trade for Woobens Pashis. Yeah, I'd do that myself. To be fair. So TFC could definitely get Body Bonga and Borges if Smirniotis comes over, though. But I think Cavalier will pass the round of 16. Let me see who they get. Let me see who they get when they start drawing these preliminary round ties. They'll play the winner of preliminary round 2, which is a full-on drawed tie. Then you got to see what happens and who goes through. And then really you'll get a serious prediction when we get past the preliminary round. Who will win, Boca Juniors or Benfica? Benfica. Tie, but I think Benfica would win. Direct elimination knockout stage for the whole tournament from the prelim round to the final. 27 clubs are in this tournament. 22 started round 1. Home and away play. 5 have buys to the round of 16. A single leg final on a weekend date. We saw this worked out already. 27 clubs. 5 from MLS. 3 from Leagues Cup. All MLS clubs. 6 from Liga MX. 2 from the CPL and the Canadian Championship. 1 from the US Open Cup. 22 clubs start in the preliminary round with 3 seeded clubs. 11 winners go to the round of 16 with the 5 bye teams, the champions of the Caribbean Cup, Central American Cup, Leagues Cup, MLS, and Liga MX. The highest ranked clubs host the second leg matches in round 1. Hosts of the return legs are the highest ranked clubs in round 1. The preceded clubs and winners of round 1 matchups 3, 7, and 9 in the round of 16. Host return leg and quarterfinals are the highest ranked clubs. So it's not about performance, it's about your rank. And the path to the final. And the host of the final, away goals rule is around for every round but the final because the final is only a one-legged tie. If Ricky Puig wasn't hurt, I'd agree with you, Adam. They still could win, but doesn't really tell you how they're going to host the final if that's when performance comes into play. But by CONCACAF ranking is how you host the quarterfinals and semis. I'm guessing it's by performance for the final. June 1st will be the CONCACAF final next year. Round 1 will be from February 4 to 6 to February 25th to 27th. The first 2 weeks of March will be the round of 16. The first 2 weeks of April will be the quarterfinals. The last 2 weeks of April will be the semifinals. And then June 1st will be the final. It goes into May 1st as the semis. So the first day of May, where the semifinals could be finished. But all of February is the preliminary round. 3 teams from Canada, Calgary, Forge, and Vancouver Whitecaps. From the USA, we have, like June 1st. Oh, yeah, well, I guess it is the first day of hurricane season, just like this year was. Columbus Crew, LAFC, Colorado Rapids, Inter Miami, FC Cincinnati, LA Galaxy, RSL, Seattle Sounders, Sporting KC from the USA. The 3 Leagues Cup clubs and all the MLS clubs. There was only clubs from Liga MX from Mexico. Mexico has Club America, Tigres, Chivas, Cruz Azul, Pumas, and Monterrey. Yeah, I would agree with that. For the Central American teams, we have, or here's the Caribbean teams, Cavalier, Real Hope, and Cibao. For the Central American teams, yeah, Red Bulls missed out because they lost the cup. They had no chance besides winning the cup. Galaxy were in no matter what. They just have a round of 16 bye because they won the cup. Central Americans, Antigua, Motagua, Real Esteli, Alajuelense, Deportivo Saprissa, and Herediano. There are your 27 teams for this tournament. That was pretty cool. So, we're getting to the draw. We're finally getting there. A double-blind system. The prelim round gets drawn, and from there we figure out what the round of 16 ties will start to look like. Of course, they still... Let's Go Galaxy says no name. I wish you the best. I hope Ricky Puig is back quicker than we think, because Fought Mob says August. The way he's acting, it seems like it was a partial tear of his ACL, which means less time. So maybe he's back around March. Which, if that happens, y'all have a chance. Seems to me it kind of looks more like a partial tear of his ACL for Ricky Puig. The way he's been acting. Because he couldn't be doing what he's doing on a full tear. No crutches, runs. Been walking well, dancing. It's a partial tear. I'm pretty damn sure about that. Yeah. If Cruz Azul didn't bottle it so bad to America, I would say Cruz Azul. But maybe I'll give you that at the end. Maybe I'll give you my early champion prediction after the draw is over when I just start playing it out in my mind. Yeah, the Yankees got Max Fried. Good job. Blue Jays got Andres Jimenez. Sadly traded Spencer Horwitz, but, whatever. Galaxy. But it does seem to me that if I'm right about Ricky Puig's ACL and it's just a partial tear, he will be back at some point during the CCL. And if that's the case, and he gets back to form like that, which I think he would, you may win. I think Fought Mob's a little bit wrong about the August return date. The way he's been acting is all I'm saying. They have Uribe Peralta helping with the draw. Former America player. Legend Uribe Peralta and L3. Would you like to see Cavalier play back FC Cincinnati and Kingston again? If they don't get Forge, yeah, I'd like to see Cavalier play Cincinnati again. Jonathan Bornstein as well, helping with his draw. Former Chicago Fire player. He played for Chicago Fire. Also Querétaro, but he also played for Chicago Fire. I'm surprised they didn't show that, but I guess because the Fire don't make the CCL, that's why that's not up there. Hi-oh! The Fire just got burnt. I mean, I do too, as long as it's not Vancouver. And if Forge makes a run, sure, I want Forge to win, but that's a CPL team. What about Toronto being the first Canadian team? I'll accept Forge being the first Canadian team. They probably won't be, but I'll accept it. I just don't want it to be Vancouver or Montreal. Forge is good. I mean, they still made the CPL final. They won the CPL Shield. That's why they're in this tournament. They were the top of the league in the regular season. They just couldn't win the final. But winning the CPL final doesn't change where you're sat in the tournament, so it doesn't matter really. And here's the CONCACAF Director of Competitions, Chief Football Competitions Officer, Carlos Fernandez. Cavalier can beat anybody. Well, I mean, I can't really joke about that because you did beat Mocha, and I didn't expect that. So, who knows? Maybe you're right. But y'all still did lose to Robin Hood the year before. So, football's weird. Who won the Caribbean Cup? Cavalier. As you can tell, we got a big Cavalier fan in the chat already banding about winning the tournament. So the draw will happen very, very soon. About maybe 5 minutes, it'll start. They have to set up the pots and tell us how it works, even though we know how it works because we went through one already, and I know. But I guess the how it works is not for me. It's for, well, not you either. It's for a lot of other people who don't know how this works. Cavalier will get wrecked. Here we go. Double blind system. The draw is a double blind system. 5 clubs to the round of 16. El Diablo Alense, Cavalier, Columbus Crew, Club America, LA Galaxy have buys to the round of 16. The highest ranked clubs, round of 16-1 will have the Columbus Crew. Round of 16-5 will have America, LA Galaxy to round of 16-8. El Diablo Valense to round of 16-4. And Cavalier to round of 16-2 from 1 to 5. Sets up Cavalier versus Columbus in the quarterfinals. The 3 highest ranked clubs in the prelim round already seeded: Monterrey to 3, Tigres to 9, Cruz Azul to 7. Based on merit and strength, which is their CONCACAF ranking. It's their CONCACAF ranking. Double blind system in 4 pots. 1 and 2 has the clubs from pot 1 and 2. A and B have the bracket positions from A and B. We have 3 less clubs in pot 1 due to the seeded teams. These clubs are ranked based on their CONCACAF club rankings of December 9th, which was yesterday. 8 highest ranked teams go in pot 1. The 11 lowest ranked teams go into pot 2. The A rankings is A1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, and 11. Teams are drawn with bracket positions, putting them in each position of the bracket until we empty both pots, and then we go to pot B, pot 2, and pot B, going from 1, the 11 lower ranked clubs, and B1 to B11. We fill out those ties, and then after that, we know who's going to face, a rough idea of who's going to face who in the round of 16. I would love to as well. So it's that simple. It's very, very simple. And from there, we run through it. We start with pot A. Again, we have teams already seeded: Columbus, Cavalier, Alajuelense, America, Galaxy in the round of 16 with the buys. Seeded teams into round 1: Monterrey, Cruz Azul, and Tigres. 3, 7, and 9, respectively. 1, 2, 4, 5, and 8 for the round of 16 buys. Columbus and Cavalier in the same quartile. Alajuelense at 4. America at 5 on the other side. Galaxy at 8. So, that's simple. And here we go. We're about ready to go. Pot 1 of the preliminary round is LAFC, Inter Miami, Seattle Sounders, Pumas, Chivas, FC Cincinnati, RSL, and Vancouver Whitecaps. Pot 2 is Colorado Rapids, Sporting Kansas City, Saprissa, Herediano, Calvary FC, Motagua, Antigua GFC, Forge FC, Real Esteli, Cibao, and Real Hope FA as the lowest ranked team of them all. So here we go. Pot A and pot 1. So Bornstein is going to handle the positions. Uribe is going to handle the teams. So we start with a team. And here we go. Lorenzo only has 2 years left. Yep, unless San Diego takes him tomorrow, which I hope they would. And the first team drawn is Seattle Sounders FC of the USA. Their position will be they cannot go into 3, 7, and 9. Those are already taken. So 1, 5, 11, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. What is their position, Seattle Sounders? What position will they go into? It is A8. Seattle Sounders to A8. Next team drawn, LAFC. LAFC has been drawn. Let's see what position they get. So Seattle in match 8. Preliminary round 8 is Seattle Sounders. LAFC was the next team drawn. And they will be drawn into A1. A1. Preliminary round 1 for LAFC. Which means if they win that tie, we got a Columbus Crew versus LAFC matchup in the round of 16. How crazy. Match 1 for LAFC. FC Cincinnati's the next team drawn. FC Cincinnati could go to 5, 11, 2, 4, 6, and 10. What position will they get? Man, LAFC versus Columbus will be crazy in the round of 16. Oh, my God. Wow. Position drawn is A10 for Cincinnati. Next team drawn is Chivas. Chivas is drawn out. Yep, Cincinnati's in match 10. Chivas has been drawn. They could go to 5, 11, 2, 4, and 6. Where will Chivas go? Ooh. A6. They're going to match 6. Chivas. Next draw is Inter Miami. Inter Miami can go to 5, 11, 2, and 4. Where will they go? Inter Miami. Ooh, Chivas could play Club America in the round of 16, by the way, if they win their tie. How crazy would that be? A2 for Miami. A2. So match 2 is for Miami. Next team out, Vancouver Whitecaps FC. 5, 11, or 4. What will they get? Miami's in match 2. Which means they would play Cavalier if they were, it'd be Miami Cavalier if they win their tie. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lordy. That's A4 for the Vancouver Whitecaps. Next draw. Pumas or Salt Lake? It's Pumas. Pumas Unam. It'll be 5 or 11. It's that simple. And whoever doesn't get drawn will go into the round that doesn't get drawn. So Salt Lake will go wherever wasn't drawn. It's Pumas. Pumas Unam. 5 or 11. Where will they go? It is A5 for Pumas. And then that means Real Salt Lake is going to 11. To A11 is Real Salt Lake. Let's make sure they're right, but that's where it'll go. That's where they'll go. It is A11. It is correct. All right. Real Salt Lake could be playing LA Galaxy in the round of 16, which isn't a bad tie, to be fair. Pot 2, here we go. First team out of Pot 2 is Sporting Kansas City. Sporting Kansas City is the first team pulled out of Pot 2. They could go from 1 to 11. Anywhere on the bracket, they could go with this draw. It's that simple. Where could they go? It will be B2. B2 for Sporting Kansas City. They're going to play Miami. Sporting Kansas City versus Inter Miami, which means the winner of Miami Sporting KC will play Cavalier. Cavalier could beat Kansas City. They couldn't beat Miami. Calvary FC is next out. Next team out, or next position out. They could go anywhere but 2. Calvary is going to go to B5. They're going to play Pumas. Calvary FC, B5 versus Pumas. So the CPL Cup champions are going to play Pumas. Cibao FC is the next team out. Calvary versus Pumas. PR5, the winner of Pumas Calvary will play El Diablo Valense. Cibao is out. They could go anywhere but 5 and 2. B6. Cibao versus Chivas. Oh, Lord. They're in trouble. B6 for Cibao. That means they would play Club America. Chivas or Cibao would play Club America. Next team out is FC Motagua. FC Motagua has been drawn. Five, 6, and 2. Next team out, it was Motagua. Motagua will play. It's 1, 3, 7, 9, 11, 4, 8, and 10. Who will they play? B10, Cincinnati versus Motagua. That's interesting. That's a possible tie. Motagua, Cincinnati, Motagua. Next team out is Deportivo Saprissa. Deportivo Saprissa. Next draw is B4. B4. Saprissa will play the Whitecaps. Which means they'll play the winner of Monterrey versus whoever. And Herediano is out. LAFC, Monterrey, Cruz Azul, Tigres, Seattle. Okay, I just don't want Salt Lake or Seattle to be taken out. Next team out, or next position out for Herediano. Please don't be Salt Lake or Seattle. Please don't be Salt Lake or Seattle. Please don't. B11, it's Salt Lake. Shit! CS Herediano playing Real Salt Lake. So the winner of Real Salt Lake and Herediano will play the Galaxy. Well, Forge is screwed. Antigua GFC is out. Please don't be Seattle. I could see them beating Tigres. I could see Forge beating Tigres. Tigres are in trouble. Monterrey, Cruz Azul, LAFC, hell no. Seattle or Tigres, that's okay. Just be one of 1 through your 7, please. Antigua GFC is out. B8. Oh, shit! Antigua GFC. Sorry for being unprofessional. Antigua GFC is going to play Seattle. Forge FC is out. Please be Tigres. Please be Tigres. Please be Tigres. Please be 9. Please be 9. Please be 9. I do not want LAFC, Monterrey, or Cruz Azul. I do not want that. Please be 9. Please be 9. Please be 9. Forge is out. Please. B3. Well, we're screwed. Forge is done. Forge is playing Monterrey. Yeah, they ain't winning nothing. Antigua. Colorado Rapids will play 1, 7, or 9. Forge is playing Monterrey. Antigua, Seattle Sounders. And Colorado is going to play. It's funny watching you rage. B1, LAFC for Colorado. Well, hey, at least they got one. But Columbus is going to have to play a hard team. Real Hope FA is out. Did I not? No, Real Esteli will be the last team drawn. It's either Cruz Azul or Tigres. B7. B7 is Cruz Azul will play Real Hope. And Real Esteli will play Tigres. So that means Cruz Azul. Real Esteli. B9. Real Esteli will play Tigres. It's like rain on your wedding day. I do not like that draw. I do not like that draw. Well, Forge is done. They're not getting past the preliminary round. Monterrey. Okay. So let's see if Forge beats Monterrey by some miracle, they play Vancouver or Saprissa. Then they would play the winner of Pumas, Alajuelense, or Calvary if they won against Vancouver or Saprissa. I mean, if they win against Monterrey, they could at least make the quarterfinals, if not the semis. I mean, it's possible. That's the good news. All right, so again, the preliminary round ties. Preliminary round 1, LAFC versus the Colorado Rapids. Preliminary round 2, Inter Miami versus Sporting KC. Preliminary round 3, CF Monterrey versus Forge FC. Preliminary round 4, Vancouver Whitecaps FC versus Saprissa. Preliminary round 5, Pumas versus Calvary. Forge got it worse for sure. Preliminary round 6, Chivas versus Cibao. Preliminary round 7, CF Cruz Azul versus Real Hope FA. Preliminary round 8, Seattle Sounders FC versus Antigua GFC. Preliminary round 9, we got Tigres versus Real Esteli. Preliminary round 10, FC Cincinnati versus FC Motagua. Preliminary round 11, Real Salt Lake versus CS Herediano, which means the round of 16 will look as follows. Columbus Crew will play the winner of preliminary round 1, which will either be LAFC or Colorado. So Columbus Crew versus LAFC or Columbus Crew versus the Colorado Rapids. Not bad match there. Cavalier FC versus the winner of preliminary round 2. Y'all got set up to fail. Versus Miami. Versus Inter Miami or Sporting Kansas City. Cavalier will beat, I think they could beat Sporting Kansas City. Miami, they'd have to beat Miami first, though, which I don't think will happen. But then again, Sporting Kansas City is just as bad as Atlanta. So your mileage may vary. Cavalier, if they play Miami, they're screwed, though. If they play Kansas City, I like Cavalier's chances. Preliminary round 3, Monterrey or Forge will play preliminary round 4, Vancouver or Saprissa. El Alajuelense will play the winner of preliminary round 5, Pumas or or Cavalry. Pumas or Cavalry. Club America will play the winner of preliminary round 6, Chivas or Cibao. CONCACAF really wants Chivas to play America again. I'm pretty damn sure of it. Preliminary round 7, Cruz Azul or Real Hope versus preliminary round 8, Seattle or Antigua GFC. So Cruz Azul versus Seattle most likely? Yeah. Preliminary round 9, Tigres and Real Esteli. Tigres or Real Esteli versus preliminary round 10, Cincinnati or Motagua. And LA Galaxy versus preliminary round 11, Real Salt Lake or CS Herediano. Because Forge got Monterrey. Forge are not going to beat Monterrey. I know they lost to Atletico San Luis, but Di Michelis is... Oh, wait, no, they didn't. That was last year. My bad. They almost... Well, they did lose the first leg to Atletico San Luis, but they came back the second leg. They got a lot of firepower. Forge is going to lose to Monterrey off the bat. That's for the review. I'm not that mad. I just thought the way the draw was going, some of the easier teams were still there, and then the easier teams went away before we got one of the harder teams left in the draw. I kind of hated the hopium. That's all I'm saying. Just to get let down. And Monterrey is actually a good team going into this tournament. So it's not like the Chivas tie where I was like, you know what? I have hope. Just to see that hope get burned into flames. I don't have any hope. I'll root for Forge, but I have no hope. I have zero hope. Zero. Maybe they'll play well at Tim Hortons and then get beat up at BBVA. But if it was Tano Ortiz's Monterrey, I'd still have some hope. But that's not what it is anymore. Monterrey could be winning the Liga MX in about by the end of the week. We're going to play. Now, I guess the bright side is Forge is playing possibly the defending Liga MX champions at the time. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's cool. If you beat a champion. If you beat Monterrey, you may just beat a champion. If you lose, you lost to a champion of a higher league than you. I guess that's positive. I guess that's a win either way. But whatever. I feel a little bit bad for getting a little bit unprofessional there when some of the draws came out. I do, but I'm wearing a Forge jersey. I mean, shit, what'd you expect? Sometimes this channel gets unprofessional at times. I mean, who we kidding? I can't wait to see it. Monterrey has a tendency to choke. If Forge wins, I think they'll go to the semifinals. I mean, the way the bracket's put together, if they overcome Monterrey, they can make the semifinals. They just have to overcome Monterrey. But if they overcome Monterrey, they can make the semifinals. And then they would have to play Columbus or Cavalier or LAFC or Miami. They're probably going to lose there. But, hey, you know what? I guess positives are if they overcome a mountain, they're smooth sailing to the semifinals. If you take a scalp of Monterrey, you're going to go to the semifinals. If you're Forge. So basically, it's like you either fail or you go all the way to the semifinals. So if you beat Monterrey, you can beat Pumas. Surely could beat Cal. Whoa. You could beat Vancouver. You could beat Saprissa. You could beat Cavalry. Ooh, that would be nice. If a quarterfinal tie was Cavalry versus Forge, that would be awesome. I would love to see that. A two-legged tie, quarterfinals of the Champions Cup, to the semifinal, Forge versus Cavalry. Oh, boy. Now, that would be awesome. It won't happen, but that would be awesome. had what? With that being said, though, there's your draw. I'll make the recap of the draw. I had faith in Columbus. Yes, Messi will very likely be going to Jamaica in March if he beats Kansas City. Should I go? No, I'm not. With that being said, to Kansas City is what I meant. But no, I won't. With that being said, though, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once you're subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you within the hour for the recap of this draw. I'll say pretty much say what I said here and maybe a little bit more. No predictions. I could see Galaxy winning this tournament. Cruz Azul. Yeah, they probably beat Seattle. America. I could see them beating America. Actually, in CONCACAF, yeah. America, they'll fail somehow. LA Galaxy has a chance. Columbus still has a chance. Miami, I wouldn't put. Thank you. Man, I hate having hopium. With that being said, see y'all later. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace.